Jalen Wright was supposed to be different. When Miami used that draft capital to move up for him back in 2024, it didn't feel like just another mid-round flyer. It felt like a statement. This was the guy who ran through defenses in the SEC, who had that speed and that toughness everyone swore would translate to Sundays. Coaches raved about his work ethic, about how he carried himself. Fans were already daydreaming about Wright breaking off chunk runs in Mike McDaniel's offense, one cut and gone, giving Miami another weapon in a backfield already stacked with speed. And yet, fast forward to now, and here we are. Training camp in 2025, a full year into his NFL journey, and the story doesn't match the hype. Not even close. Last year was already rocky. Wright barely saw the field, just 68 carries for 249 yards. Nothing memorable, nothing that screamed future star. At the time, people chalked it up to depth chart politics, to the presence of Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane. Sure, maybe he didn't get enough touches. Maybe McDaniel was slow to trust him. Fans complained he was being wasted, tucked away, while Miami kept leaning on veterans. But maybe, just maybe, the coaching staff knew more than we realized. Because here in camp, in preseason, Wright hasn't done much to quiet those doubts. He hasn't shown the spark that made him worth moving up in the draft. He hasn't forced coaches to give him more. He hasn't looked like the guy Miami fans thought they were getting. Think about what's happened already. That first preseason game against Chicago, ball on the goal line, 3 straight chances to punch it in, 3 straight stops. That's supposed to be your moment as a running back, the kind of scenario where you show the league you belong. Instead, he was stonewalled. Then came Detroit, 4 carries, 3 yards, and a fumble. Yes, Miami recovered it, but that doesn't erase the problem. The numbers themselves are bad enough, but what's worse is the feeling you get watching him. The energy just isn't there. The burst? Missing. The explosiveness? Nowhere to be found. The ball is in his hands, and nothing happens. No spark, no threat, no tension in the defense. He looks replaceable. And in a league where running backs already fight uphill battles for value, looking replaceable is about the worst thing that can happen. And this wouldn't feel quite as heavy if not for what's happening on the other side of the roster. Ollie Gordon, another rookie running back, has been the exact opposite. Every time he touches the ball, you see the juice. You see the speed, the cut, the promise. The contrast is striking. Same offensive line, same situations, same limitations with second-string blockers. Yet Gordon pops, while Wright fades. This is where the unease creeps in. Wright should be further along. He's in year 2, not a rookie anymore, and he's supposed to be hitting his stride. With Mostert aging and Achane now sidelined with yet another soft tissue injury, the door should be wide open for Wright to step in and claim a bigger role. Instead, he's drifting. Instead, he's letting opportunity slip. Now, what exactly is the issue? Is it physical? Has Wright lost confidence, lost that edge? Or is it mental, pressing too hard, thinking instead of reacting? The coaches won't say much publicly, of course. McDaniel always finds a way to spin things positively in front of the media. But behind the scenes, you have to wonder how much patience they really have. Let's not ignore what the preseason really is, an audition. Every rep is a chance to prove you belong. And right now, Wright is not convincing anyone. You can say, it's just preseason, all you want. But when it's the only evidence we have before September, it matters. It's all we've got. And the evidence points to a player who isn't seizing his chance. It's frustrating because the tools are still there. He's strong. He's fast enough. He knows how to run between the tackles. He was that guy in college. But football doesn't care about what you used to be. You either show it now or you don't. And so far, Wright hasn't. The word that keeps coming up is flat. His runs feel flat. His presence feels flat. There's no ripple effect when he's on the field. Defenses aren't stressed. The crowd isn't leaning forward. Teammates aren't feeding off the energy. It feels ordinary. And ordinary doesn't last in Miami. Not with McDaniel's offense built on movement and explosion. Think about how this affects the depth chart. If Gordon keeps flashing, if Achane gets healthy, if Mostert even steadies himself a little, where does that leave Wright? How many snaps can you justify giving a running back who doesn't change the game when he touches the ball? The timing makes it worse. Training camp isn't endless. The season opener is coming fast. Coaches have to make choices about who they trust, who fits, who's ready. And right now, Wright hasn't given them much reason to say his name in those meetings with conviction. There's still time, sure. 1 or 2 strong games could shift the narrative quickly. But how long do you wait? How long before Gordon just takes the job? How long before coaches look elsewhere for answers? And here's another uncomfortable thought. What if Wright just isn't built for this scheme? McDaniel's system asks backs to hit the hole decisively, to explode through the crease, to punish defenses with speed. If Wright doesn't have that burst anymore, or never really had it to the degree Miami hoped, then maybe this was just a mismatch from the start. Maybe the Dolphins chased the idea of what Wright could be instead of the reality of what he is. It's not fair, but that's life in the NFL. Opportunities are rare, and they vanish quickly. A fumble here, a failed goal line carry there, a rookie teammate stealing the spotlight. It all adds up. Suddenly you're not the future. You're the guy on the roster bubble. And this is where the emotions of it all hit hardest. Because you want to root for Wright. He's a good kid. He's worked. He's carried himself well. You want to believe he can flip the switch, that he can shake off the rust, that he can remind everyone why Miami moved up to get him in the first place. But belief doesn't get you yards. Belief doesn't secure your spot. Performance does. So here we are, 4 weeks into camp, staring at a situation that feels heavier than it should. Wright doesn't look like the answer. Gordon does. And the Dolphins, chasing Real aspirations in 2025, don't have time to wait. They need answers now. What happens next? Does Wright respond, find a gear we haven't seen yet, and force his way into the conversation? Or does he keep fading while Gordon rises? Does McDaniel double down on patience? Or does he pivot quickly? The way good coaches sometimes must? There's still a path for Wright to matter. There's still a chance the story turns around. But the margin is shrinking. The patience is thinning. And the longer this drags on, the more it feels like Miami may have a Jalen Wright problem that isn't going away anytime soon.